All right, quick question. Ever hear someone say, when the bond market sneezes, the stock market catches a cold? No? Yeah, didn't think so. That's some real finance nerd energy. Like, who invited the bond geek to the party? Now turn on any financial news channel. CNBC, Bloomberg, Fox Business. Same vibe every time. They're yelling about AI. They're yelling about meme stocks. They're yelling about some CEO tweet moving a stock 4% in pre-market. And meanwhile, the thing that actually decides how expensive your life is gets explained like a grad school exam question. That thing is the bond market. Your mortgage, your credit card APR, your car loan, your student loans, your retirement account quietly bleeding while nobody explains why. That's bonds. So no jargon today, no chalkboard math, no guy in a suit telling you it's complicated. This is Bond Bro rules, plain English, bar-level explanations, and a little sarcasm, because if we don't laugh at this stuff, we're gonna cry. Let's start stupid simple. A bond is not complicated. People just explain it like they're getting paid per syllable. A bond is a loan. That's it. That's the whole thing. You lend someone money. They promise to pay you back later. And they throw in extra money for the inconvenience. That extra money is interest. Picture this. You're at a bar. Your buddy leans over. Same guy every time. Unemployed. Down bad on FanDuel. Has confidence for absolutely no reason. He says, "Bro, can I borrow $100? I'll pay you back next year. I'll give you 110. Congrats. You just bought a bond. You're the lender. He's the borrower. The extra $10 is the yield. No charts, no acronyms, no Ivy League nonsense. Now scale it up. Instead of your buddy, it's the US government, Apple, your city, or some country you can't find on a map. They all say the same thing. Hey, we need cash now. We'll pay you back later, plus interest. That IOU is a bond. Here's where things get interesting. People think stocks are the market. They're not. Globally, stocks are worth around $100 trillion. Bonds? They're over $130 trillion. Let that sink in. The bond market is the big brother. It's the ocean. Stocks are just the whitecaps on the waves. Stocks are the flashy part of the casino. Bonds are the cashier, the vault, and the guy deciding how much the chips cost. Stocks are the seafood tower. Bonds are the $87 steak and the $1,500 bottle of wine. Bonds don't care about vibes. They care about getting paid. Stocks say, maybe you get rich. Bonds say, pay me, on time, or we have a problem. That's why banks love bonds. Pension funds love bonds. Governments obsess over bonds. When things break, bonds notice first. All right, now we have to talk about interest rates. I know, this is where eyes glaze over. But here's the trick. An interest rate is just the price of money. That's it. Money cheap? People act insane. Free money. Buy everything. Borrow more. Money expensive? Suddenly everyone has alligator arms when the check comes. Back to the bar. Same buddy, different night. Still broke. He asks for $100. You ask one question. When are you paying me back? If he says, tomorrow, maybe you don't even charge him. If he says, next year? Now you're thinking. Risk. Inflation. The fact he might disappear. So you say, all right, I want 120 back. That extra $20 is interest. Why did it go up? More time. More risk. That's the entire interest rate equation Wall Street pretends is complicated. Now let's talk about the guy behind the bar. The Federal Reserve. Think of the Fed as the head bartender of the global economy. His job is to manage the punch bowl. When the party gets too crazy, everyone's buying houses they can't afford and stocks are going to the moon, the bartender thinks, everyone's getting too drunk on cheap money. So he hikes interest rates. He makes the drinks more expensive. He takes the punch bowl away. When the economy is depressing and nobody is spending money, he lowers rates. He makes the drinks cheap. He wants everyone back on the dance floor. But here's the catch. The bartender doesn't control the prices of every bond. He only controls the short-term stuff. The rest of the market, the bond vigilantes, decide the rest. They're the guys sitting in the corner of the bar, watching the bartender. If they think the bartender is being reckless, they start demanding higher yields. They start saying, "I don't care if the Fed says money is cheap. I don't trust the future, so I'm charging more." Here's the rule every bond trader knows. Bond prices and yields move in opposite directions. One goes up, the other goes down. Picture a seesaw. If you overpay for a bond, your yield drops. If you demand a higher yield, you pay less for the bond. I worked with a guy whose full-time job was trading bonds. Couldn't remember this, so he taped arrows to his monitor. Price up, yield down. Price down, yield up. Bro could barely fog a mirror. His uncle owned the firm. This seesaw controls everything. Mortgage rates? They're tied to the yield on the 10-year Treasury bond. When that yield spikes, your dream home just got $30,000 more expensive over the life of the loan. Corporate borrowing? If yields go up, that tech company burning cash can't afford to hire new people. Government budgets? Every 1% move in yields adds hundreds of billions in interest costs to the national debt. The US borrows money constantly, not because it's broke, because it can. They issue 3-month bonds, 2-year bonds, 10-year bonds, 30-year bonds. Same borrower, different wait times. Investors aren't asking, will the US pay us back? They're asking, how long is my money stuck? And what do I get paid to wait? And here's the part that should haunt you. Not that long ago, long-term rates were around 1%. The US could have locked in dirt-cheap money for decades. 50-year bonds, 100-year bonds. Didn't do it. Now long-term rates are closer to 5%. Oops. When the government has to spend more on interest, it has less to spend on, well, everything else. Bridges, schools, defense. Or they just print more money to pay the interest. Which leads us to the bond bro's greatest enemy, inflation. Inflation is why a bond is a gamble. If you lend your buddy $100 today for 1 year, and he gives you back $110 next year, but the price of a burger went from $10 to $15 in that same year, you actually lost money. You can buy fewer burgers now than you could when you started. Your yield was 10%, but your real return was negative. Bond traders are obsessed with inflation. They are the canaries in the coal mine. While the stock market is cheering because people are spending money, bond traders are sweating. They're thinking, if prices keep rising, the money I'm getting back in 10 years will be worth as much as a used napkin. So what do? They sell their bonds. When they sell, the price goes down. And what happens when the price goes down? The yield goes up. Suddenly, interest rates for everyone, you, me, the local car dealership, start climbing. This is why everyone freaks out when yields spike. It's not because bond traders are dramatic. It's because the math gets ugly fast. Stocks celebrate hope. Bonds price reality. Think about a small business. They have $1 million loan. At 3% interest, they're paying $30,000 a year. They're profitable. They're happy. If that bond yield spikes to 8%, they're now paying $80,000. Suddenly, they aren't profitable. They lay people off. The bond market just reached out from the shadows and fired 5 people in your neighborhood. The US 10-year went from about 0.5% to around 4.5%. That move didn't just change some numbers on a screen. It broke the housing market. It killed the free money era of Silicon Valley. It told the world, the party is over, pay up. Stocks get the headlines. Crypto gets the memes. Bonds set the rules. They decide how expensive your house is, how hard it is to start a business, and how fragile the system really is. Think of bonds like the guy at the bar who knows when the keg is empty, when the lights are about to come on, and when the bouncer's getting involved. He's not the life of the party. He's not wearing a lampshade on his head. He's sitting in the back, checking his watch, and counting the cash in the register. Ignore him if you want, but he controls the night. If the bond market starts sneezing, if yields start jumping for no reason, you better grab a sweater. Because the cold the stock market is about to catch, it's going to be a fever. Congrats! You're officially paying attention to the thing that actually matters. You've graduated from the meme stock kiddie table to the grown-up section of the casino. You understand that a bond is just a loan. Interest is just the price of waiting. And the whole world runs on a giant, terrifying seesaw. Next episode, we go deeper. We're going to talk about who is actually issuing all these bonds. We'll look at the zombie companies that only exist because money used to be free. And we'll look at which sectors are going to crack first when the stress hits. Because in the bond market, there are always tells. You just have to know where to look. I'm the Bond Bro. Stay liquid. See you next time.